Arnold gets dropkicked. Tefue wants transparency. Deji exposes KSI and so much more. Welcome to Purgatory. How's it going, everybody? I hope you're all doing well. I'm Spike.
And I'm Matt.
And we're coming to you today courtesy of the Anchor app. It's good to hear from you again, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. 3-day weekend, so gonna be a lot of Overwatch this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. And just to clarify, whatever day or time you're listening to this, it's 3-day weekend because of Memorial Day. So we definitely want to thank all of the veterans and service members that have served and are serving. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, our city does it up pretty well for Memorial Day. I know on my drive into work, I go by this hotel that has like 1,000 flags out in their yard for Memorial Day. It's pretty cool. You going to the lake or anything?
No, probably just gonna stay indoors. I'm trying to set up my gaming channel.
Oh yeah, you did say you were gonna start a channel. That's really cool with your brother, right?
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much just kind of have the shared one and see where it goes.
Yeah. There was a guy at work when I was coming in that this fucking guy had like a big old black Silverado, and it was hooked up to a bass boat, pointed out, like ready to leave. You tell this guy was ready to get out of there for Memorial Day weekend and go straight to the lake.
He was freaking.
Yeah, it was like he probably had 30 beers on ice already, waiting for him to come home. So what'd you have to talk about today, man? I know that the YouTube community is abuzz in the wake of the James Charles stuff, but there's some new shit on the horizon, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, let me take you back to 2017 when we had the Jake Paul versus the Logan Paul,
Mm-hmm.
and then transitioning over to 2018 when we had the Alls versus the KSI and Deji.
Yeah, they had like a double boxing match, right?
Yeah, a big double boxing match, like one of the biggest events on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
A little lackluster when you actually watch it, but it was pretty cool. I think the setup and everything like that, it really showed what YouTubers can do if they actually put their heads together. But looks like now we're getting the opposite. We're getting Deji versus KSI, and it honestly seems a lot more serious than Logan versus Jake, because those guys look like they were just dropping diss tracks on each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could never see any feeling behind it. But it looks like today Deji came out with a new video against KSI.
Yeah, just like a couple hours ago, right?
Yeah, it's fresh. But I kind of want to break it down.
Wait, before you do, how much of this do you think is inspired by the Tati video? Because the Tati's video was called "Bye Sister."
Yeah.
In lowercase, the same way that this Deji video is, and it just says "bye." It's very similar. It's a similar length. It's shot in a similar way. I don't know. There's a lot to this that's like, you think that Deji is trying to piggyback at all? Because I know that you're gonna get it. I know you're gonna get on a roll when you start to unpack this video. So I want to kind of ask this question first.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say if you've been kind of keeping up to date with these two guys, or following Drama Alert at all, he's been dropping some mini videos like this. You know what I mean? Where he's kind of just staring at the camera.
Okay.
Oh, this is why I don't like KSI.
That's fair. That's fair. I just feel like the timing is a little bit weird.
Yeah, I definitely noticed with they both have these white backgrounds.
Yeah.
And they're just staring at the camera. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, it looks like he's kind of trying to cancel him as well. He's kind of exposing things. The only problems I have is it's either do or die. You know what I mean? If he's gonna finally expose him, just drop everything. Because in this video, he there's a couple of moments when he's oh, I'm not gonna get into that, or I don't want to bring that up, or I don't want to embarrass him. You know what I mean? But in the video, he's showing countless times when KSI has embarrassed him or has made him feel less than what he is.
Yeah.
I think if he's gonna go all out, he should go all out.
Yeah, it's interesting because you and I both have older brothers,
Yeah.
So I feel like we can empathize a little bit with some of the. Well, actually, you get into the video first before I start to talk about it in that way.
Yeah, I mean, I know exactly what you mean, and like I was gonna bring that up too, just because like, we were both thinking it. We both have older brothers, you know what I mean, and like I think it's just like part of older brothers, you know what I mean. You guys kind of like rough house, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like it seems like if you look at KSI's face, because he shows like multiple like times from 2012 to now, where his brother still likes to do that, you know what I mean, and they're grown like men, and it's just kind of strange. He looks really sinister, and like he looks like a bad guy, to be honest. He looks like a
Well,
villain.
I do feel like lines are crossed sometimes,
Yeah.
and I feel like it just becomes up to the person involved to figure out where the lines are. You know, because I mean, I fought with my brothers tooth and nail growing up,
Yeah.
but now my brothers are my best friends.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. That's kind of sucks. Is that like he says like I have no one to count on now, which like really sucks because like, if you don't have your brothers, like you really don't have anyone, you know.
Well,
Um,
I feel like some of that's theatrics, but let's get into what actually Deji said.
Gotcha. Okay, so like right off the bat, he kind of just like started showing like videos from 2012 to now, where like Deji has this like common reoccurring theme where like it's kind of just like pain challenges, or at first it's not even a challenge. He just kind of like takes his anger out, like he'll turn over and throw things at him, or he'll kind of overreact for the cameras. And like half of that could just be overreacting, you know what I mean? Because when people are watching YouTube, they want to see that. I mean, just look at Tyler One streams. That's all he does. He starts like overreacting and throwing shit,
Well, and the
and that's what made him so popular.
Boogie 2988, you know, with the Francis rages, you know.
Yeah, exactly. They want to see like World's Greatest Freakouts. That was like one of the biggest like channels back in the day. Um, so they want to see that. So I think half of it's that, and I think another half is that like he actually is a little bit, um, I guess, like aggressive. I would say. Um, but then like that's like the biggest thing we got from this video, whereas the rest we kind of already knew. He brings up that he used to like a girl, and that he finds out that KSI slept with her, and then that he felt really bad about it, and that later on he finds a different girl, and that KSI starts teasing him, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna text her, or I'm gonna DM her on Instagram," and then like that, those two things were like the biggest things in the video that like I don't think we knew before.
Yeah.
And then he starts talking about the diss tracks again, which like that I kind of see a problem with, kind of like trying to stay, but make the video longer, try to stay relevant because we've already seen all that. You know what I mean? That was all like this past year, even like the last year.
Yeah, I feel like
But,
that's a little bit stale.
yeah, like the first half of the video, pretty like fresh, new things. The second half, he's just trying to get to that 30-minute mark to make it look serious, I think.
Yeah, and the diss track videos I feel are a little bit old. It's kind of last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, how do you feel about the whole like uh, KSI sleeping with the girl he likes?
Well, I feel like, and I've seen in KSI's videos before, he's kind of a piece of shit anyway. I
Yeah,
just feel like he's just kind of a piece of shit, you know. And you see in the older videos, even the ones that Deji cited, he was always bagging on his little brother, always being a douche, you know. And he was a douche through the entire lead up to the YouTube fight. He's just a douche. You look at his videos, he's always bagging on people, he's always making fun of people. And I'm like, okay, he's an asshole, you know? And he was an asshole when you were younger, and then now he's making $1 million a year, or however many $1 million a year, and he's an asshole with money now.
yeah,
So he's like a mega asshole. So sleeping with a girl that his brother liked is not even on his radar. Because
yeah,
he was an asshole before, and now he's in his mid 20s and is a millionaire. So he's like, I get to fuck who I want.
yeah. I mean, his ego's like over the roof now.
And
Um,
you and I on the sideline can say what an asshole, but like I feel like it'd be hard not to be kind of a jerk in your
I mean,
mid 20s making so much money, you know. But
it,
I would like to say that I wouldn't turn on my family that way, or I wouldn't treat my family badly. Um, but you can never say anything for certain until you're in the situation.
yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of funny because like at towards the end of like the Jake Paul and Logan Paul drama, we found out that Logan Paul actually slept with Jake Paul's ex girlfriend.
Yeah. Um,
So it's
but
kind of
they
you do
seem
see
to
those like
be,
similarities.
yeah, and which is kind of my point earlier to about the Tati similarities, and now you're seeing beef between these other two mega YouTube brothers, and I am always wearing my skeptic hat because I'm like, how much of this is just for views, you
Yeah,
know? Um, because Deji, KSI, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Tati, James Charles, Jeffree Star, blah blah blah, they're probably not the exact same person off screen as they are on screen.
yeah,
They're playing a character to some point. Alex Jones, he's playing a character to a point. I mean, there's a grain of truth in their persona, but I feel like they're spicing it up. You know, they're being larger than life. So
yeah.
the Logan Paul Jake Paul drama we saw on screen is probably rooted in some kind of truth, but I mean, anytime I've had beef with my brothers, it's a beef that we can sit down at a dinner table and talk about, and then it's over.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean, for us, it's like within a week, it's dead. You know what I mean?
right?
Because
And so part of me is like, okay, maybe these brothers really did have beef, but another part of me is like, for a year, solid, they had this beef that they were talking about on YouTube and getting millions of views. Dude, they were keeping that going on purpose
yeah,
because it was making money. And why wouldn't they? They're entertainers. I don't fault them for that. But I mean, they got to pay their bills. They have to push out a product because the free market has decided that it's interested in what they have to say. You know. So I guess my point is, when people see someone have success with a thing, they're going to try to duplicate it. And I'm not saying that Deji's lying and that KSI is not a piece of shit, but like,
just like over exaggerating it, kind of like
yeah, and
drawing it out.
why? And why the hell would you air out your dirty laundry like that?
Yeah,
The only thing,
I've always hated that. Like on Twitter, people will say like, "Oh, like you like they'll call like they're like I don't like they'll call someone out, right? And then they'll kind of like be like, all right, man, text me, text me. It's like, bro, just handle that off screen. You know what I mean? Just you text them instead of texting them on Twitter.
right?
Or
And
you know what I mean? I don't
well,
know.
and Deji showing texts and showing DMs and showing this and that, and same thing with the James Charles showing DMs, showing this. Now, I feel like James Charles he showed DMs because it was self defense because he was being attacked.
Yeah.
But KSI's always been a piece of shit. And if Deji has said things in private, I feel like he's fighting fire with fire because the only thing Deji is doing right now is trying to hurt his brother's platform. Now, his brother, I'm not saying his brother is a good person. His brother did some things that were bad. You shouldn't hit your brother with a belt. Um, they were doing it in the context of playing, but you could tell that he went a little bit too far, you
Yeah.
know? But like, I feel like the only thing Deji's doing right now is driving a wedge further between his brother and he, you know?
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, like you said, this video literally dropped a few hours ago. So it's so young. You know that there's going to be a KSI response. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I saw he posted a picture on Twitter, and it's that GTA San Andreas meme going, "Oh shit, here we go again." I'm on Deji's channel like 6 months ago, so when he like first started like talking about KSI in a negative way. So it's been half a year.
Hmm. Well, I wish the best to both of them. I feel like your family's always going to be your family, you
Yeah.
know, and it always sucks when, I mean, I know people that are estranged with their parents or siblings or whatever, and I feel for them. That sucks because I have a really positive relationship with both my parents and both my brothers, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I really feel for people that don't get to have that. You know what I mean? I know you're pretty close with your family too, you know,
Oh yeah.
and that would crush me to like lose one of them, especially for something that's very likely a misunderstanding.
For sure.
But again, KSI talks. He does have this chip on his shoulder about how like my channel is bigger than yours, Deji. Ha ha ha. And he kind of seems like a megalomaniac. Like Deji's only big because of me. You know. Um, So maybe the fame and the power has just gotten to him, and he might not be the same person that he used to be. You know, because I mean, how long they've been doing YouTube? 5, 10 years, 2012ish. So 7 years. 7 years is a
Well, like,
long time, especially for someone of that age. Like 7 years ago, I mean, I was in my teens. I'm a completely different person than I was when I was in my teens.
yeah, I was gonna say when Rice went on Logan Paul's podcast, he said like, oh, like you guys see like the fake KSI. You know, what I mean that's not the real one. He's not who he is on camera. Just like Rice, I've heard, is a very different on camera. But like, is that like a cover up? You know what I mean? Like, are they just saying that, or is it true? Like,
I
because
don't
like
know.
if it's true, then all of this is fake. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
doing this for views.
I
If
feel
it's
like
not true,
it's
he's just like a shitty
probably,
dude.
well, I feel like it's probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
There is some amount of doing it for views because that's their job. That's literally what they wake up in the morning and like how am I going to get views today? You know,
yeah,
that's their entire life, and they've been doing it for 5 plus years. You know, so there is some degree of that, and there's probably also some degree of reality, and that's probably weird as a YouTuber when you get to the point where you're like, am I doing this for the views or am I doing this for reality? You know,
yeah.
especially like family vloggers. They're like, are we having this baby because we want one, or are we having this baby because we know it'll get views? You know,
Because we're out of content.
right? No, I'm not kidding. Like, I mean, I feel like that's
I
gotta
mean, I
be.
could see it. I could definitely see it.
I feel like that's just weird. I like that I kind of dipped my toe in the water of vlogging, and it was like I don't know if I want to put my whole life out there that way. You know?
Well, I mean, everyone that's vlogged and quit, like Casey and I mean, Daily vlogged and quit.
Yeah.
Casey and like Logan Paul have said before, it's like it's poisonous because every morning you don't wake up normal. You wake up like, all right, what content can I push out today?
Right.
What can I do to like get clickbait today? Um, so yeah, I mean, it probably sucks.
Well, and YouTube is like a new Hollywood. You know, these people are just as famous as your star-studded actors. You're not seeing kids with Will Smith shirts on. You're seeing them with Casey Neistat and Logan Paul shirts on. So these people are just as famous as anybody in Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird. It's just a weird world that they live in. And when there's a bunch of money involved and two brothers like this, it's just weird. We're just gonna have to wait and see because, like I said, it's very very early in the news cycle, and there's gonna be response video after response video after response video after diss track after diss track after diss track.
Yeah, get ready for the diss tracks.
For
And
sure.
then next we have some more YouTube drama. So like our last podcast, we had reported on the whole Tefue and FaZe incident, and
Hmm.
now we're getting some like we finally got Tifu's video and his side of it. He's saying that he got screwed over with the contract they gave him, and that he wants him to release the contract so everyone can see how shitty the contract was. Um, so like what I've noticed throughout this whole thing is like at first when the news came out, I was like, oh shit, it would suck if it came out that FaZe was screwing over Tefue, and then you heard Banks' side, and you go, oh shit, it would suck if Tefue was fucking over Banks, and then now he dropped this video, and you think, oh fuck, is you know what I mean? You keep flipping back and forth, but then at the end of the day, or I mean, like what do you think about it so far?
To me, I feel like Tfue is a young kid that doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah,
Because Tfue said that he was signed on this contract. Then he got really big really fast, and then FaZe Banks said, "Look, you got really big really fast. We need to revise." And
yeah,
then FaZe Tfue was like, "Okay, revise." And then 6 months later, revision hadn't completed yet, and then Tfue was like, "That's too long." Bam, lawsuit. Right?
yeah,
When you're talking about multi-million dollar contracts, when you're talking about a shitload of money, you're talking about lawyers, government, blah blah blah. Nothing happens fast. That stuff, the court system, lawyers, people in suits, they work extremely slow. They've got a million other clients. They don't give a shit about you, right? They can't just sit down at a table and do it in an hour and a half and then hand you a contract. This was probably going to take a year. And I feel like this is extremely I feel like Tefue should have sought more legal counsel. He may have, but he should have talked to 4 different lawyers with 4 different completely unadulterated opinions on this and then made a decision because he's very go ahead.
Well, I bet what's gonna happen is, I mean, like they're just gonna settle this off the books. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
just gonna release him from the contract, maybe pay him out, and then just drop it. You know what I mean? Because they don't want this to go to the courts. I bet.
Well, nobody wants to go to court, but I just think it's silly when things like this happen because I mean, how old was the FaZe team? Only a year or two, you know? Or how long was Tifu's relationship with the FaZe team? 6 months?
Yeah, that's pretty new. The whole face.
So think about if Tefue wouldn't have done this, and he would have been able to revise the contract. What would have happened in 5 years? Maybe they open a game developing studio. I don't know. I feel like FaZe Clan is being killed in its crib right now.
Yeah, I mean, I personally grew up and like I was watching FaZe when I was younger. You know what I mean? On YouTube, I watched like their like sniping compilations and like their vlogs when they first started vlogging. Um, I think like I think they're fair in the fact that like they knew it was a shitty contract, so that they never collected on anything, except for like I think a couple deals that they brought over to him. So they didn't really like screw him over on money, but they definitely should have had him top priority with the contract. They really dropped the ball there because now they're losing Tefue. You know, like,
Yeah.
he beat out Ninja on Twitch. He has more viewers. They're screwed. They just like drop like their best player.
Well, I don't think they're dropping him. The thing about this is nobody wins. Literally, no one wins. FaZe Clan.
It could have been preventable.
Yeah.
On their end.
Well, we're saying that, but what I do like about what Tifu's saying is he's like, look, release the contract. I want transparency. I mean, hey, if there's nothing to hide, then there's nothing to hide. Release it. But at the same time, there's lawyers involved. You can't just say release it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If lawyers are saying no, don't do that, you listen to your fucking lawyers. So
Yeah.
I don't. It may not be that simple. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're just gonna have to wait and see. This really sucks when there's drama in this way because you're like, man, I wonder how far this relationship could have gone if it was handled correctly. I feel like it's a hasty lawsuit because, I mean, how long was the relationship the FaZe Clan and Tefue had? A year or less? You know?
Yeah.
That just seems odd to me. Another thing that's weird is what's the lawsuit for? What does Tefue want? Does he want?
I think he just wants him to like drop the contract.
So he wants out of the contract, or does he want a new contract, or does it's weird when they're like, when there's a suit like this, it's like what does Tefue have to gain other than just getting out of the contract? And is FaZe Clan going to be liable to pay him some kind of reparation? You know. Yeah, it's just weird. And when we talked about this the first time, I was talking about how every judge out there is a generation or 2 or 3 older than Fortnite gaming, you know? So they're going to see this and go, these are just kids, you know, with their hats on backwards and their loud music. And what do I even do here? I don't even know what's going on. So you're going to have somebody that's never played a video game in their life being like a 65-year-old judge sitting down with this case and going, I know my grandson plays Fortnite, you know what I mean? So you're going to have someone that's far, far removed from the subject matter being the judge on the subject matter.
Yeah.
So you could see some decision that's way out of left field because this isn't a murder case, you know, this is like a streaming esports, businessy, weird kind of like Twitch is not that old. You know, so I think it's going to be an interesting court decision, and I do think I guess you're right. It'll probably settle out of court because they may have thought the same thing that I'm thinking about how is a judge going to even interpret this being removed from it, you know?
Yeah, and then another thing is that he said he wants to start his own like organization. So like in the next following years, we're gonna see another team rise up, and might even just beat out FaZe.
Which would kind of be cool. It'd be a breath of fresh air. I think diversity in that sense, with like, more and more competition is always good.
The crazy thing I think we're gonna see is I think we're gonna see people leave FaZe to join Tefue.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely gonna be crazy.
All right, with that, we're going to transition into the ad break and give a thanks to our sponsors. But stay tuned, we got some weird news coming at you. How's it going, everybody? This is Spike from the Purgatory podcast. When Matt and I decided to start this podcast, neither one of us knew kind of where to start or how to distribute it to different platforms, and that's when we came across the Anchor app. Now, Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast because they give you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your computer or your phone. Different creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great, and this was the kicker for me. They'll distribute your podcast with no minimum listenership to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and several more. Now, there's really only one more thing left for you to do if you're looking to start a podcast, and that's get out your phone, open your laptop, download the Anchor app, and go to anchor.fm to get started. Welcome back from the break. We got some weird news, and that's including my man, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the ex-governor of California, the Terminator himself, being dropkicked in South Africa. Did you hear about this?
Oh, yeah. I saw it on Twitter, I guess, moments after it happened. It was everywhere.
Yeah, it's a couple of stories a few days old at this point. But he was in South Africa at one of his bodybuilding functions. It was like the Arnold South Africa, And I'm a fan of bodybuilding, so I knew about this right when it happened as well. But he was there was a group of jump ropers there that were doing an exhibition as look how cool we are, jump roping fitness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he is pretty active on social media, especially for his age, And he was doing a Snapchat with one of the jump roping girls. So he stepped away from his entourage, and next to one of these girls that was jump roping, and she's just ripping and tearing on this jump rope. And then you see somebody in the background lurking around and looking at him all weird. And then he keeps going with his Snapchat. And then you see this same guy jump from out of the frame and just both feet drop kicks Arnold in the back. And then Arnold falls forward into his bodyguards. And then, boom, everybody jumps on this dude, of course. And his bodyguard really is giving this guy the 1-2, And then the guy goes, "Help, help, I need a Lamborghini, help. And so who would dropkick Arnold? Who would yell that? This is clearly an issue of somebody that's mentally ill.
I was thinking more maybe under the influence of something.
Or both. This is a person who's...
That's kind of what I saw it as, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this person's not in the correct state of mind,
For sure.
Arnold took it like a champ, and he posted on his Twitter or whatever, I'm okay. I didn't even know what had happened. I didn't know I'd been kicked. It happened so fast, but I'm all right. Don't worry,
Yeah.
And Arnold could have reacted in a much worse way, but he came and was like, "Look, this guy probably needs some help. I'm all right. Thanks to the people in South Africa and for responding. It was a great event."
It was pretty cool what he was doing. You know what I mean? He was going out to support this athletic event, and I think it's gonna discourage other celebrities to doing this kind of thing.
I guess. I mean, yes and no. It got a lot of publicity. South Africa has always been pretty volatile, so maybe we'll see. I feel like freak things happen even in the United States. So I don't know if it's fair to say that just because this happened, that other celebrities won't go there. You know what I mean?
No, I don't mean go there. I mean just like in general went into because like he was going out of his like comfort zone. You know what I mean? He was he was kind of just being human and kind of like interacting with these like athletes. I don't know, like it just sucks to like he was doing something like very positive. I would say.
Yeah.
Like, it had like a negative twist.
Yeah, it sucks that this kind of stuff happens, but I mean, cocaine's a hell of a drug. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I still love Arnold. He's the Terminator, and he took this like a champ. I think he handled it about as well as one could.
I just clicked on his Twitter and it says his like description is former Mr. Olympian, Conan, Terminator, and Governor of California.
Hell
I
yeah.
killed the Predator. I told you I'd be back. TikTok and Snapchat, and I was like, what the? That is quite the description.
Yeah. Have you seen the original Conan the Barbarian, the first one?
I've seen like parts, but I haven't
It's
seen
so bad, but amazing.
yeah, it's one of those bad good things.
Yeah, James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones is the main bad guy. The voice of Darth Vader, you know. It's pretty awesome. It's a good one. You got to watch that, man. Like it's one of those just 80s garbage movies, you know, but it's just that's what I was talking about in one of the last podcasts we did was the Man movie, you know.
Yeah.
And they remade that with that Jason Momoa guy. They remade Conan a few years ago, and it was over the top as it should be. It was pretty good. We each are bringing one weird news story to the table here, and neither one of us knows what the other one's bringing. So I'll go with one that's kind of a softball, but it's just a feel-good story. So 5 kittens stowed away on a 400-mile trip to San Diego, and they're looking for new homes. Do you have room in your home for a kitten, Mad?
I do not currently.
I have 2 cats, and I have them because I live on some land, and they're here for mice control, and I don't like either one of them. So that's my stance on cats. But okay, the San Diego Humane Society says that the kittens somehow wound up inside a 60-foot steel column that was trucked from Hayward in the San Francisco Bay Area to San Diego. So, you know, like those big telephone pole metal thingies that you'll see on trucks?
Yeah.
Apparently, there was a litter of kittens inside one of these.
Nice.
And they went on down the road. And the construction workers, when they arrived at the site of construction, found them inside, and they were meowing and stuff. And they named them Crowbar, Rebar, Chisel, Jackhammer, and Piper. How cute is that?
That is awesome. It would be so cool if like each construction worker adopted one.
Well, what pisses me off here is they said the kittens are now in foster care and will be ready for adoption in a couple of months.
Yeah.
How did they even make it off of the construction lot without homes?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know.
Like, any one of those guys could have been like, oh, like a gift for the wife.
Yeah, you know that they've got kids. Give them a kitten. This kitten stowed away in a steel column just to make it
100 miles.
Yeah.
His name is Crowbar.
Yeah, they didn't even the construction workers didn't name him that. They were already named Crowbar. That's how meant to be it was. No, I'm kidding. But that's how meant to be it was. I'd adopt one.
Oh, dude, if I was on, I would definitely take one with me.
Hell yeah. I wonder like how they didn't blow away. Like I'd like to see the steel column, and like were they just like riding on the top, you know?
Originally there was 6, and now there's only 5.
There were 11, and the 6 ate 5 others to stay alive. Oh man, I hope there were only.
That's crazy.
I hope there was only 5 to begin with, and there weren't more, because that would suck. That'd be a rough way to go.
Just fall on the highway.
Yeah, and like
Speeds that high.
Yeah, like hobos back in the day, like rail car hobos. They would like get underneath train cars and like set up little hammocks underneath and sleep in these hammocks that were like 6 inches off the tracks. You know, like people are.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird how like stowaways. Obviously, the kittens probably didn't mean to do this, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like if you look at stowaways on like the methods that they would use throughout history, it's pretty crazy. Like super dangerous, but pretty crazy.
I mean, pretty much like buy and stay alive, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be weird, a weird time to live during like the Great Depression, or even earlier than that when they were building railroads and shit.
Hmm.
That'd be weird. That'd be a weird time, man. Like, oh, I stubbed my toe. I stubbed my toe and got my foot amputated. You know,
Yeah, I
like
got 2 cents to my name.
I drank a glass of water and got cholera. So what's your weird news story?
All right, my weird news story: world's smallest McDonald's just opened, but the catch, it's only open to bees. If
Wait,
you're looking
what?
for
Wait, wait,
small
wait,
McDonald's,
wait, 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 wait. Let me react to the headline.
what do you mean? It's
World
completely normal.
world's smallest McDonald's opens for bees. Wow, that's amazing. So like in my head, there's like little tiny Big Macs, and there's little bees that work in the kitchen, and there's an asshole bee manager that's like, you
Yeah,
need to get these burgers out faster, and there's a bee drive-through, and
yeah,
okay, I was just so happy with the mental picture. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah. I mean, it says like it looks amazing. If you click the link I sent you, it's literally a small McDonald's. It has little advertisements on the windows. It has a little giant yellow M sign. Um, yeah, it's in Sweden.
Oh hell
I
yeah!
mean,
I'm looking at it now. Whoa, that's awesome.
it's awesome, isn't it?
It's like a modern one too.
That's like something you could never do in America because I feel like someone would steal it. That would be gone in the morning.
Or you get sued by
Or you get sued.
McDonald's.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Like the whole like meme last year that the bees are dying, like save the bees and whatnot. Like
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of a part of that kind of thing, that initiative. Bees are facing serious threats around the world. Insecticides using in farming. Yeah, so this is kind of like a little kind of like how would you say, like a kind of like a silent protest kind of thing,
Mhm.
saying we should stick up for the bees. We need bees. We don't want the bees to die.
So it
Um,
it is it sponsored by McDonald's?
I think it is. Yeah, some McDonald's restaurants in Sweden have beehives on the rooftops. Oh wow! I guess in Sweden on McDonald's, if you go to the roofs, they have several beehives on top.
Huh. Well, that's
It's a
a
growing
good thing.
initiative. That's pretty cool. Yeah, they auctioned off these little bee McDonald's, and one sold for $10,000.
Well, that's cool that they're actively trying to promote pollinators. I'd be willing to bet that McDonald's supports some practices that also support deforestation. I don't want to get into that now, but if they're trying to take a step in the right direction, that's good. I know that Sweden, Denmark, Norway, Finland, some of the Scandinavian countries are pretty progressive with their environmental efforts.
I was gonna say this probably isn't like a McDonald's thing, but more of a Sweden thing, and they kind of collaborated with like a couple higher
Maybe,
ups in Sweden.
yeah, like because pollinators specifically, if like that is such a vital chain in the world, you know.
Yeah.
Like if without pollinators, everything dies. Everything
Mhm.
dies. I've mentioned to you before that next spring we plan on starting some beehives on our property because who doesn't like raw honey, you know?
Yeah, I was telling you guys at the office yesterday. I've been like binging these like videos where people like just eat honeycombs, and I think that looks so good. I don't know. I think it looks so like I don't know because I've never seen that before in my life.
There is
You know?
way more honey in a honeycomb than you would ever imagine. Like if you get like a 1 square or 1 cubic inch piece of honeycomb and you bite it, it's like an entire mouthful of honey, like way more honey than you'd think. And then you like chew it like gum, like a crumbly kind of gum, and then swallow the honey, and then you just have a piece of wax in your mouth that you spit out. But it's pretty good.
I heard that that's pretty edible too, right? The wax.
I mean, you could eat it, but without the honey, it's not. There's no taste. Only straight line in nature is in honeycomb. How
Oh
weird!
shit.
How weird is that, right?
Cool.
Bees are fantastic, like amazing creatures. If you ever like research them,
I know that like last year, Tyler the Creator had some hoodies that said "Save the Bees" on the back.
yeah. Do you know who Crazy Russian Hacker is? He has like 10 million subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah,
He's got a whole series on his beekeeping. That guy's channel is hilarious. He literally just kind of doesn't really do anything specific. He just kind of is.
that's pretty cool though. You know, I mean, he just does whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's just a goofy guy.
that was given to him by like just like the fact that he has a job at YouTube.
Yeah.
He can just do whatever he wants. He has that like that community behind him.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. I'm looking at it now. He has a bunch of videos on his personal channel and Crazy Russian Hacker.
Yeah, and they're all of his videos are independently interesting, you know, but they're all completely fucking random too. Yeah, interesting guy, boys and girls. If you are wanting to look at, like waste an entire day and then be like, wow, I literally just watched videos of a guy using different hot dog slicers on Amazon.
Dude, that's crazy. He just like I don't know. He like grabs like this like knife type thing and just like slides it across the honeycomb. It looks so cool.
Yeah, yeah, his videos and a lot of beekeeping videos in general, a lot of people just watch them kind of for the satisfying ASMR type shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like the honey flow and the extraction process and stuff, sometimes people think that's yeah. You remember like the hot knife shit when that was all like it's kind of like that. It's like an interesting process that brings order to the world. I don't fucking know, but a lot of people find it interesting.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, next year, man. Next spring, you have to start them in like the early spring. So that's why I missed this season. So next spring, I'm gonna start them, and you're more than welcome to come check them out. It'd be cool to talk about on the podcast.
That sounds awesome. Let me get some honeycombs, man.
Yeah. So, what do you think, man? You think we're done?
Oh, for sure.
All right. Well,
Put YouTube out of the way. Keep kittens and bees.
yeah. Save the bees. Save the kittens. Don't kick Arnold. Stay tuned for more YouTube drama. Thanks for tuning in for your daily dose of Purgatory with Spike and Mad. We'll see you next time.